Hello, Exotical Barbies. I'm here to say that using marriage as a weapon or as a scaring tactic for women is actually a pretty crazy idea to think about. Let's get started. Before we actually get started, I'm sorry, I need you to subscribe and follow because I realize not many people will follow me, but they watch me, which I want you to do both. So please click the subscribe button down below, and now we can get started. So I noticed that they do it to women, like it no matter like what culture, especially happens in religions, that they weaponize marriage. Because I notice even when you're a young girl, they be like, oh, if you do this you will never get a man, or you need to learn how to cook so your husband, like, why can't the girl cook for survival? Probably one day she want to cook herself apple pie. Why did she need to learn it for a man? And also too, like, they keep telling you repetitively, or sometimes they be like, oh, you see your aunt over there who's 40 years old, not married? Yeah, you don't want to end up like her. And the 4-year-old aunt is like looking young and happy and successful. By the way, when I say this, you can choose to be married, okay? Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you want to get married or not. I'm just saying because I know I came out of like a cult type deal where they weaponize marriage so harshly. So that's why I'm speaking up about it. So if you are married, don't take offense or click off this video. But I'm going to keep continuing because I realize that they do this a lot. Or they use this as a scare tactic, like, oh, you're going to be a cat lady and you're going to live alone. Meanwhile, statistics shows of the man loneliness epidemic. I never heard of a woman loneliness epidemic. In fact, I hear more women not having children, not and being happy with the decision, or not getting married, and doing other things like start their career, going to college, getting their degrees, starting businesses. And I realized that the thing is that men want marriage more than women. However, they do this tactic where they inbred you in your mind that you want marriage, when in reality they want marriage. Does that make sense? I mean, like, you never see grown-ups telling, like, what's it called, boys, why they grow up, like, oh, don't do this, otherwise you're gonna have a good wife or whatnot. No, in fact, they probably be like, yeah, just make sure you pay the bills, keep her happy wife, happy life. They basically telling you, like, just listen to her so she could shut up. That's all they basically telling you. And, like, I don't even know why they think it's cute, why I think women think it's cute. Like, it's not cute. They basically telling him to tell you anything that you want to hear so it could shut you up. That is so inconsiderate, rather than, hey, let's talk about this, I want to hear your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I realized that when they weaponize marriage and whatnot, is that they also too, like, especially in religion, how they keep telling you, like, oh, submit to your husband. Not gonna say everything because I'm not allowed to give scripture, but they kind of give you along those lines, and how they gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be a great wife. I honestly take that as a threat, low key. Okay, don't get me wrong, I just see that as like not a compliment anymore, due to the fact of where I come from, of how they be like, oh, you're gonna be a great mother, and just you washing dishes. And they be like, oh, you're gonna be a great wife, and just you just like, I don't know, stitching or something like that. It's like, okay, why would that be good for you? You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, that whole thing, or they be like, oh, you're wifey material. It's just so many things that comes with this, when it's like giving you a backhanded compliment, low key. I'm gonna say backhanded compliment, but it's definitely not a compliment. And what I see is that also too, with how, and with this video, I'm more focusing focus on male-centered women that use, because, well, mostly, don't get me wrong, men use this all the time. I just think we low-key got male fatigue over the years as women. So when men say, "Oh, you're gonna be lonely," or "you're just not gonna get married," when not, we really don't get offended. I mean, at least in my opinion. I may be wrong, but with male-centered women, like especially ones that's married and not happy, hint the word "not happy," because I realize the women that are happy and married, they understand why women don't want to get married. I only see women that's married and not happy, or women that's in a long 18-year situationship trying to throw that, "Oh, that's why I'm married. That's why I have kids." And their whole relationship is messed up. I mean, look at Maya from Girlfriends. Maya throws that word so many times, and we already know how Darnell treats that woman. Darnell don't even like her. He mistreats her friend Joan. Oh my gosh, remember that whole time when Maya was flirting with their neighbor, and she keep throwing Joan into the lie, and how he came up and I don't like when what's it called? At least it's my red flag when a guy yells or cusses at my best friend. That we have a huge issue there. But Maya kept doing that, and then how it was just disgusting. I think he cheated on her as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, look at her. She throws that word around. She threatening, she dangling in front of other girl faces like, "Oh, I'm better than you because I'm married." Like, marriage is not a trophy. In fact, I thought it was supposed to be like another step into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I noticed that like a lot of people, they love the idea of marriage and whatnot, to the point that they weaponize it, thinking everyone else wanted, when that's not the truth. And also too, with that being said, I noticed, like, especially growing up, and women, also other women that came off the court as well, how they told me how much they feel free of leaving their husbands, or if they wasn't married like me, thank God, like they like, "Oh, thank God I didn't do this one." Not how they realize there's more to life than a man. There's more to life than a man and children. Man and children are like if you want to type deal. It's not like you need to. And I feel like as though that that this happens so many times, and I notice that, especially when I make videos like this, how men try to be like, "Oh no, that's not true." It is true. And it's very disgusting. So yeah, let me know. Have you decentered marriage? Have you realized that people who weaponize marriage are in a horrible relationship of their lives, and they projecting onto you? Have you seen men saying this, and you realize, and then 10 seconds later you talk about how lonely he is? Let me know. Make sure you subscribe and follow for some more. Bye, Exotical Barbies.